another edition of Uneven Asphalt's Lewis Hamilton reference laps, and today you find us here at the Dragon's Trail circuit, which is the first one of the 10. Um, this one took me a while to beat, with a lot of cursing and swearing, and overall it wasn't too bad. Um, the main pain point you're really going to get here is from this hairpin through the chicane to death, which it really is. You need balls of steel and just absolute commitment to get it through here right. So as always, I will play it all lap in full, and then we will break it down corner by corner. So here we go.
Wow, where did that come from? Mega lap.
So there we are. We have a 137.072, just edging out Lewis by 200ths of a second. I will admit, wasn't the prettiest. Probably could have done better, but you know what? Mission accomplished. The only thing I care about is this diamond. And as Vin Diesel says, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. Alright, so we're out here heading towards, I guess you could call this corner number 1. One thing you do want to keep in mind in this track is that you want to be really smooth on these very, very long high-speed sweepers. Even if you scrub a small amount of speed, Lewis Hamilton will expose you and take advantage of it. So you're going to have to be really, really smooth. You can't just fling it right, although there are some times that you have to declare the corner because this thing will just not turn. So I will play it going into the second corner over here. You want to aim for basically just... Apologies. Didn't want to stop when I wanted it to. You want to brake just before this curb over here, which is basically right about maybe a car's width or two away from the 100. So kind of like in between, you want like a car length between like the curb and where you want to brake. So it's kind of somewhere in between the 100 and the 150. You really want to nail this corner right to set yourself up for the quick right at the end. Especially considering that Lewis doesn't get that great of an exit, you could definitely exploit some time on him there. So I'm actually kind of just steering into this corner to try to scrub speed. I'm down to second, and then I'm kind of just going to short shift into third just to get the maximum amount of traction. Here, and then shift into third. I kind of lift a little bit just to clear this corner, because you will basically understeer right into the gravel and you're gonna have to hit the retry button. So yeah, I'm 2 tenths down. I actually have been 2 tenths above him here. But concerning, look at the great exit I got. I'm already matching him basically up into this. Now for this, in normal GT3 cars now, you don't have to lift. You can take this flat. But here, you just got to lift just ever so slightly. I'm lifting about halfway. You want to be basically right along the curb on the outside, and then there's going to be a little shadow from a light pole. That's going to be your braking marker heading into the hairpin right-hander here. So right there, started braking. I'm already turning in, as you see. You can kind of use the banking to help you. This corner, again, you want to nail. One, because it's uphill, so basically whatever mistake you get getting on the throttle late is only going to be magnified by the hill. And two, you could gain some time on Lewis over here. So I had a little bit of a bobble, not a big deal. One thing I noticed about Lewis's lap, he really is patient getting back on the throttle until it's basically straight and true, and then he gives it the full beans. There is actually a Top Gear episode that James May was being trained by Jackie Stewart, and Jackie kind of brings up a good point, which is very relevant here, that you don't want to get back on the gas until you know you can make it through the corner without lifting off again. And watching a lot of Lewis's laps, that is the case indeed. So you kind of want to basically emulate that, and this is really good practice for that. So heading into the S's over here, I'm staying in fourth. Basically, kind of like as soon as you pass this, you will be bouncing off the red line for me about once or twice. I prefer this way. It's just one downshift instead of having to do two and worry about upsetting the car. But you really want to hug this. Then for the rate, you just want to lift ever so slightly, because you want to take that last left-hander going up the crest flat out, as Lewis does as well. So here, just trail braking a little bit. Then I'm getting back over here to the right. I'm on gas, not lifting off. Going a little bit wide, but I'm actually gaining time on Lewis, so mission accomplished. Now, here is where it gets really, really, really hard. And I mean really hard. So there's really no braking reference point other than somewhere between the 150 and the 1. That's kind of like where Lewis brakes. He also kind of turns in to scrub some speed, but is a little tentative getting on the exit. The exit is a pain. On the throttle too early, you're going to be in the wall. On the throttle too late, Lewis is going to munch you. The car does tend to drift too, so there's a lot of variables playing that you really have to balance. It's going to take you quite a few tries to do so. So here we go. See, I'm kind of braking maybe 2 car lengths before the 100-meter board. I'm already going to start turning in to the right, gently, gently. Now back on the full grass. You see, there's a little bit of drift, but the trajectory is still pointing me towards where I want to be, which is right alongside here. As you can see, I'm neck and neck with Lewis, but right on it. Now, this next part is a pain, and I'm going to tell you this right now. It will probably come down to a big pair of balls, luck, and 200% commitment. They call this the chicane of death because basically you get it wrong, you're in the wall, probably in a hospital in real life, to be honest. Um, Watched a few videos like Lewis's Hamilton's replay, Super GT's replay. So Lewis goes basically after the second chicane, heading up towards the wall before the next part of chicane. He's kind of taking it half throttle just to set himself up. Then he goes back down to fourth, weirdly enough. And then basically right before the last right to exit the chicane, he's full throttle, clears it. Super GT kept it in fifth, just lifted, and somehow made it through still in fifth. I personally was more comfortable just keeping it in fourth, just due to the high red line of the Mercedes. You kind of got to play by feel and see which one you're most comfortable with, which is kind of why I recommend watching a few videos and try them out, see which one you're most comfortable with. Again, This is just a guide to help you. You might have a technique that works, and if that's so, then I would definitely leverage that over everything else. You want to be your most comfortable. So here we go. So here we go. Using all the curb here, using all the curb here. And then I kind of lift just after I pass this bridge thing, you could call it. Actually, probably past this guy over here. Probably foolish to use people as a braking marker, but since these guys don't move, you know, good idea. Wouldn't recommend in real life. And basically here it's just luck, to be honest, if you clear it or not. And a lot of videos I watch, Lewis Hamilton gains time here. But oddly enough, I nailed it. See, I was so close to hitting this curb. I'm just gonna backtrack real quick. I mean, just actually, there is a way I found out you could play this in slow-mo. And we are going to do that right now. Look at that. I'm almost hitting the curb here, using all the track here. It's spitting me out here. I'm like about to hit it. I'm still aiming for the left when I really should be turning right. Oh, that just glitched. Then aiming right, just making it while carrying all the speed. And basically, once I know the back tires clear that curb, I just shift into fifth and just keep going for it. And actually, I'm getting, it's not a lot, but to Lewis, you need every thousandth of a second possible. Now here, I'm braking just before this curb starts. And I kind of aimed for the apex a little bit too early. I kind of want to stay a little bit more wide. He gains a lot of time on me on entry and apex, but I kind of reel him back just a little bit on exit. So keep it tight. Make sure you maintain a good throttle. You don't want to use too much. You'll be into the wall in the gravel trap. Right. Basically, when this curb ends over here from your line of vision, start giving it a little bit more gas. As you can see, I'm already gaining some time on him. And then, stupidly, I could have beaten this way earlier, but for whatever reason, I decided to just keep it in fourth. I was ahead by like this much, and then I wound up losing it by this much, so shift. Just shift, shift, go through the line. There you go. Another diamond. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, give me a like, give me a subscribe. As I beat more diamonds, I will post reference lists for everyone to use. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a good one.